Hi, Mitch. I'm going to do my best to explain some of this to you. And I'm going to start with number 24, which says absolute value of D, add 3, is equal to 33. All right, now absolute value, by definition, means a distance from 0. So if I have the absolute value of 5, then I look on a number line and I go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5, which is 5 steps away from 0. So absolute value of 5 is equal to 5. By the same token, if I have negative 5, absolute value of negative 5 is also 5 steps away from 0, so it is also 5. So absolute value really means just always positive. It's always positive. So when we have equations with an unknown and an absolute value, it's very important that many times we have 2 answers. So you should usually have 2 answers. So basically, the first order of business is I want to get this absolute value part all by itself on one side of this equal sign. And the reason it's not by itself is because of this plus 3. So I have to remove the plus 3 from around the absolute value part of this equation, which is this right here. There's the absolute value part, right? So in order to get it by itself, I have to subtract 3 from both sides. Now can I do a stroke eraser? Let's see okay. All right. So now I'm going to go subtract 3, and I subtract 3 from both sides, make it even, and now I have absolute value of D is equal to 30, right? Well, now think about this. What values of D are going to make a true statement here, right? Well, 30 will work, clearly, because the absolute value of 30 is 30, and that gives me 30 equals 30, which is a true statement here. So I know 30 will work, right? What else will work? Negative 30, right? Because if I have absolute value of negative 30, absolute value of negative 30 is also 30, and that will give me 30 equals 30 as well. So from this point, I have to remember that I have 2 possibilities, and I always say that this left-hand side of the evaluation or the absolute value makes one equation, and that is D equals, and this absolute value bar makes another equation, D equals. And so what I know is this statement will be true if the positive version of whatever's here is in that absolute value bar or the negative version. So now I can say D is equal to positive version or negative version. Now, in this case, there's nothing else to solve. I have my 2 answers. There are 2 answers that are going to work here, and that is 30 and negative 30, because negative 30 absolute value plus 3 is 33. 33 equals 33. Same thing with the other one.